veterans in that receiver room. What do you make of this receiver group now that Rara's no longer a part of it?
Well, we got a lot of guys that are pass catchers back. We got a lot of guys that have played for Dillon Bell, Arian, Colby for another team's played. Dom's been very successful and got a lot of catches. So, you know, we have depth at the top. I think we've got to find more guys that can contribute in that room. Maybe they haven't had their opportunity. Maybe they're talented and pick things up quickly. You know, we have several guys that came in from the portal with Mike Jackson and London. So I'm looking forward to see the opportunity each one gets to grow and get better, and it really starts today. But I'm fired up about that group because we got a good group of protectors around them, a good quarterback to get them the ball, and a good group of tight ends.
Kirby, we're still waiting on a tiebreaker for the SEC, who goes to the championship. How much input did coaches have on that?
Zero that I'm aware of. I mean, it's not something that we've talked about or concerned ourselves with. It gets so deep and so far that I think the Big 12 kind of has had that come up, and people have learned from the way they made their tiebreakers, and very little does it get past the first 3 or 4 tiebreakers.
Yeah, Kirby, with the defensive line, it seemed like you mentioned several defensive linemen that are dealing with injuries and stuff. Just one, what is the state of that group as you head into camp? And two, how do you work to, I guess, continue getting more out of guys like Nazir, like Warren, who have been here for so long, it seems like?
Well, they have been here a long time. I'm pleased with where they are in terms of when Warren's dealing with a little nagging injury that he's dealt with, and he'll push through that. Nas has been great. We got to get the young guys ready to play. You never have enough defensive linemen. So just from the jump street, we got some big bodies in that room. We've got some inexperienced big bodies. So it's really important that we establish depth, that we're looking at a potentially longer season. And we have, I want to say it's 4 or maybe 5 new guys, meaning first year with us, because that includes a portal transfer and 4 high school guys that are 300 pounds or greater that haven't played a snap for us. And they will provide our depth in that room, that when guys get injured at that position, they got to be able to step in and play. And that's an area that we got to continue to develop and grow. I mean, everybody does. Nobody has enough of them.
Hi, Coach. When looking at all the young DBs on this roster, what's the biggest adjustment they need to make in order to be successful at this level?
Well, work ethic. I mean, experience, confidence, practice habits. There's a lot of things that go into being able to compete at this level, and some of them already have competed at this level just as a 2 or a 3 in practice. And you know, we put more value in that because maybe you're going against a better guy at Georgia in practice all spring, then you may get a chance to go against in the season. So I think they establish confidence in that, and they know and trust that their training is going to carry them.
Coach Anthony Evans saw him play a little bit more of a role in the Orange Bowl. Just how have you seen him grow in the spring and then coming into the fall?
Well, he's gotten a little stronger. He's going to have to continue to work to be competitive and compete every day. You know, he's a guy that we think has great potential, but potential means nothing if you don't actually realize it and push through it. So camp's going to be critical for him to show toughness. You can't play the position he plays on offense without establishing physical toughness, and he's shown the ability to stick his face in there and do things. He's going to be in competition to be one of our returners, so we need him to have a successful camp, and that really doesn't come through wanting to have a successful camp. It comes through the mindset of what it takes to be physical and do your job each and every day, which will be key for him.
Kirby, we'll have a chance to talk to Dalen in a little bit. He's come off his first year as a starter. Just what have you seen from him through this offseason, just as he gets ready for this year?
Proud of Dalen, his leadership in that room. You know, he's one of the few guys coming back with play experience in that room outside Malachi and Dan, and I think he exudes confidence that maybe leaks over to others, and he sets an example where maybe he followed Kamari's example for a while and learned from those older players. He's got to carry the torch in that room, and I'm excited to see him do it.
I would assume Oscar Delp is somebody that you're hoping to get some real good leadership out of. But what type of leader is he, and how's he doing, you know, now that he's next man up in that room?
He's a leader by action. I mean, he's a kid that's taken a lot of reps here. So everybody will want to compare him and say he's filling Brockbauer's shoes. That's not happening. We're not asking anybody to fill Brockbauer's shoes. We're asking Oscar to be Oscar, which is extremely physical, extremely tough, extremely dependable. I mean, you talk about a guy that I don't know that he's missed a practice since being here. And there's a lot of time that Darnell was out or Brock was out that Oscar took double the load. So his durability has been incredible. He doesn't necessarily have to lead by what he says, although he does speak up. He leads by his actions, and I appreciate his work ethic.
What do you hope to get out of Aaron Smith this season in terms of, obviously he's had problems in terms of staying healthy and being able to maybe reach his full potential?
Well, I think Aaron has reached his potential. I mean, he's a guy that's, every time we've needed him to make big plays, he's made a bunch of big plays. I don't think a lot of the health, he can control that. That's not, there's some things you can control, some things you can't. Most of the injuries he have occurred by circumstance or collision. So I'm very pleased with where he is. I'm excited of the leadership he showed in that room spring through the summer, and even now he's much more confident in himself, and I think he feels like he and Dylan Bell and Dom are the leaders in that room, and I'm excited to see what he can do with it.
Kirby, is anything about camp or in general, are you going to manage things differently considering the schedule this year and the potential of playing 17 games?
Yeah, a lot of people have talked about that and discussed it. I don't really know what the camp has to do with that. The NFL has extended their preseason, they've added games to the season, but there's not a lot of changes to the camp. The camp is the camp. So maybe something changes within the season to the season, because as we go and we have more information and we play along the season, we may know the duration of the season may change. We don't know that for certain right now. What we do know is that we've got a really tough opening opponent and we've got a really tough schedule. I don't know that employing a back off pace, take it easy pace lends itself to success when you're talking about facing the schedule we have to face.